Hello everyone, welcome to 3 Screen Plays Pathfinder Campaign Less Than or Equal to 2, Episode 13. Before we get to our lovely players, we're going to switch to our theme, and we will be back shortly.
There is a manticore in this dungeon, and our company is falling to its claws. But if even one companion rolls a 20 with a broadsword, we will slay the beast with one stab through its jaws, and steal the treasure from its paws to thunderous applause.
Hello everyone! We are back, and Meredith will not be joining us today, so that means that Dee will be taking another very long nap, so congratulations, Dee, on your well-needed rest, and I am exceedingly jealous. And that's how we know that this is in fact a game, because we're getting long rests. So,
Damn.
last episode was episode 12, the eventual reunion of like-minded individuals. And I want to say that there was audio issues in the last one, so unfortunately we didn't get the excellent commentary from Nathan and Victoria. And I listened to this a little later than I should have, so if there's any information that needs to be added, please correct me violently. So, we're going to see how well that goes.
Violently.
Violently. Wow, that was really violent.
Very violently. You can see their dumb cat. Yeah, sorry. I just hammered the table violently, like you asked.
Perfect. Story point for you if you're not at 5.
Thank you. I'm not, so I'm going to take it.
What?
Fuck you, Victoria.
Don't worry, Victoria. I think you've gotten more over time than
Some grade A
else has.
bullshit right there.
No, that's a classic. That's a classic earning of stories. Okay. Sorry, we're closing a window to avoid some noise.
Oh, I can't even hear it, so
Well, we'll be loud if you want. I could be louder.
we'll get there. So last episode, Dee awoke with the remnants of a dream fighting a necromantic fish creature, somehow knowing about the fish hooks in Molly's possession, and also learned about the creatures that were fought during Dee's very long nap. If there were questions if Dee is a prophet in some way. The party continued to advance using the miraculous flipped map to Sentinel. Dee found a beautiful goat. On the road, the party saw some tripwire of unknown origin, pitfall traps, swinging logs, which were skirted with ease with Molly's talents. On the path, the party encountered chain gangs of humanoids as well as other vampires being escorted by what appeared to be slaves. There were a lack of gnomes, gripply, and other rare races. Some of the gangs were carrying some glass object, but they were contained within a box, and it was unclear what they may actually be. Wow, I need to slow down.
You gotta slow down.
The poisoned claw spoke to some vampires and flashed the sigil to move past questioning gazes and prying eyes. The party flashed the sigil at another vampire, and they realized the sigil is actually providing passage to a different location, but the party managed to schmooze their way out of a difficult situation. The party saw the Great Gate into Raven Rock and followed a path before it up to Sentinel, which was finally confirmed to be such. Upon reaching the walls of the mansion, the party was informed it was the wrong sigil for this location. However, from their previous talks with the vampires, Felicity and Han were able to convince the guards the party had a meeting with Lady Anaxi on behest of Queen Marassenah. Molly admitted to a lie that the wine contained blood and or brains, and it was well received. That went ahead. Anyways, the party entered the building, including Han and the donkey Juniper. Lady Anaxi and her opulence and sultriness invited the party into the parlor to talk and tasted the brain wine, which now Molly admitted to a lie that the wine contained blood and or brains, which was well received.
Yeah.
Anaxi drank the wine and told the party that the purpose of their job was to gather information, primarily getting the nobility on the side of overthrowing Marassenah and potentially removing the ones on her side. The party was promised a great variety of riches upon completion of the overthrow, as well as some reward when the party completed its obligation. The party received a list of Marassenah's allies and potential turncoats, which is now in the Discord because I did that yesterday. Molly found the ring was a cursed ring that was paired with the second one that was not being worn. She offered the ring to Lady Anaxi with the agreement that the ring would be removed after completion of their tasks, realizing that the ring would allow for tracking of their location and status. The party was given 3 pre-addressed scrolls of telescription for the use of communicating with Lady Anaxi. The party moved through the main gate, were examined for contraband, but moved through it without incident. The guards tried Molly's brain wine and she feigned shock when there was no blood in it. After realizing that they passed through the gates, they saw evidence of vampire society, especially that of a lower class consuming animals and living in squalor. Arriving in Votland, the party sought to speak with Viceroy Mortier Cormorant and noticed a monolith with a carving of a very ornate Kate humanoid with an inscription stating, Viceroy Sedith Cormorant, wife of Viceroy Mortier Cormorant, killed by order of Marassenah Sarangena, killed about 996 years ago. The party paid respects, some with a great deal of performance, such as Ruth's age feigning. The entry to Votland was protected by a single guard who let them in with little effort. The party realized the building was mostly a facade and lacked anything beyond magical lights and shadows. Turning around the building, they encountered the shack that was the actual home of Viceroy Mortier Cormorant. The party was spoken to telepathically and asked to enter, where they learned that the Viceroy did not feel highly about the government and was willing to throw their name in to gather support for someone of specific rank. The party also learned Lady Anaxi was a child of Marassenah and could lay claim to the throne. Is there anything that I missed that you guys would like to add into that conversation?
No, I actually am shocked to remember how much we did last episode, honestly. For some reason, I was projecting that over like 2.
It was a very progressive episode with a lot of politicking. So I think more happened because there weren't battles to break that apart.
True. We were scheming beans. And we're here to scheme.
So at this point, you guys had left this area, and it is probably, after traveling and speaking with both of these individuals, it's probably about 11:30 p.m. It's hard to tell. You can't really see the moon through the clouds, but you're guessing to the best of your knowledge and the fact that this nightlife is very active, which you assume vampires and other undead are active more at night. I believe we're traveling mostly at night during this, but I'm not sure if you continue to keep that up in this location. You are not aware of any places to stay, but you are more than welcome to search around or continue on your area searching around at these various locations. I also wanted to clarify, because I did make a mistake in the last game, that the individual that you spoke to, who is Viceroy Mortier Cormorant, was a Dhampir that was actually Moroi in origin, not Nosferatu. So,
okay.
I think that's the only change that I caught at that point.
And
I
think
also don't know if I included that one of the potential turncoats was Count Andraste Morkarath, who was included on your list.
Yeah.
And in case I didn't tell you before, you would have gathered this information that they aspire for more power and resents his lack of proximity to other locales, primarily wishes to have a march, which is a territory that borders another territory, which gives them kind of more military prowess. And they oversee Ian Vey.
Okay.
Are there any further questions or anything that I need to expand on that I may have left out?
I don't think so.
Yeah, I think I'm good for the moment.
Okay. So, at this point, you are currently at Votland, which is on the southeastern side of Raven Rock. The places that you wanted to visit included Ian Vey, which is 2 mountains to the northeast. The other one was Sorn, which is 2 mountains north, and Pinnacle, which is 3 mountains northwest, and would also require you to pass through the main county of Raven Rock, and also pass through the undead city of Valakatesh.
Ooh.
Which, these have all been marked on your map by that vampire that you spoke with earlier.
Yeah. Maybe save that one for last. I don't know.
The undead city?
Yeah. I just feel like that's going to be a fight, no matter how we play it. I mean, if you want to try to get through it, I'm down. I'll blow up some vampires and or threaten to blow up some vampires any day.
I think it's got to come to Hopefully.
Coward.
The other thing that you did here, I don't think. Oh, the one Nosferatu that was not generally cared for, just because he is a Nosferatu, oversees Pinnacle, which is that one that you have to go through Raven Rock.
Yeah. Okay.
So really, you don't have a whole lot to go on. You can gather information if you want to go speaking to the individuals that live under Votlin's control, because as you enter into each county, there's kind of that collection of homes. You also have not left the premises, so you could go speak and gather more information if you wished, if there was more information you wanted to gather.
Oh, from the Viceroy?
Correct.
Yeah, maybe let's chat him up a little bit.
Yeah.
Before we go.
Okay. So we're going back to the Viceroy?
I mean, we haven't left.
Oh, I thought we left.
You did. You still are on the grounds, like you were paying respects
Oh,
to...
that's right.
Okay.
But there's nothing preventing you from going back if you had further information that you wanted to gather. And I would let you say that you had this conversation anyways, because we're easing back into the game. So I won't say that you lost anything.
I mean, I guess we could just bounce.
And we can go back and talk. I mean,
Okay.
if you wanted to just, like,
Yeah.
you have a specific questions you want to answer, let's do it.
Yeah.
If you don't, I'm down to just dip in, because that one worked out somehow. Despite you leaving with, like, how's your dead wife? Or something like that. I can't remember what you said.
You were very forward, and it worked.
Yeah. I just remember starting the conversation. It was like, so how about that dead wife out there?
Was that me? I didn't
That could have
think that was
totally been me now. Or it could have been D. Honestly, it could have been any one of us. I just accused you.
I think it was one of you two.
Oh,
and then
I guess
D
it might
was
have been
playing
me.
off of that outside of character.
Okay.
Anyways. Okay.
But you did have a Midwestern accent when you did it. That's all I remember.
Oh, then it was probably me.
I don't know.
Yeah, sorry, I
It doesn't
accused you of
matter.
my own misdoings.
It doesn't matter.
Okay.
Okay, so I know you just said it. I was trying to find the map when you were talking. The Duke, who's the Nosferatu, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he's in Pinnacle.
He's in Pinnacle. So he's the one that we'd have to go through Raven Rock to get to.
Correct, or you could try and find some way around it, but it would require some finagling of the maps, which yours is still reversed and somehow working. So I would say that it won't work.
Somehow. And then the Countess is in
Sorn. And the other individual was a Count who is in Ian Bay.
Oh. Count Orin? No, Count Morcroft.
If we went
Andraste Morcraft, correct.
If we went to Ian Bay, sorry.
And you guys are welcome to see any of her allies to try and, basically fuck with them or cause some discord. Or theoretically kill them. It wasn't your main goal, but you have a lot of freedom as long as you don't get caught.
I'm pretty sneaky, but you're...
I'm not.
Yeah.
I don't think
you also have
either.
Ruth and Tectune
to
help you be sneaky.
They're
I
sneaky
will
as
loop them in with you and take them with you.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, maybe let's just go see. Let's try and get an angle maybe on the Countess. Does that make sense? Or like travel-wise? I mean, travel-wise, it kind of makes sense to go like up to Pinnacle and then.
But then we go through Raven.
Upward.
That's what I was going to say. We could make a loop around.
Go all the way, start in Ian Bay, and then go back.
Yeah, because then we don't have to go through Raven Rock. Is there... I'm sorry. It's
so-
more of just like every time you bring up you'll have to go through Raven Rock, it makes it sound like it's going to be super scary, but I'm not really aware of. I guess I don't know if Molly is aware of the concern there.
Can I make like a history
So-
check or something?
Yeah, well, actually, you're going to know this because you had conversations. So,
Mhm.
Raven Rock is run by one of Queen Marassenah's greatest allies, which is Grand Duke Lewin Martin and Grand Duchess Alestria Martin. They run that area, which means that they may have ears, but that doesn't mean that it's inherently dangerous to go there as long as you don't draw attention to the fact that you're trying to subvert her rule.
Right.
So, I mean, it's about as dangerous as going into enemy territory, but inherently, aside from the fact that it's run by her allies, it's no more dangerous than any more of Raven Rock. There is just more vampiric density because it is essentially the capital of this land.
Well, and we're
Vampiric
unknowns
density.
at this point, so
Yeah,
it
it's
just
probably the safest time to do it,
really
honestly.
matter.
Hell,
I will
let's
say
do
that
it.
you are in Votlin, which means you could go around the periphery and make it to Ian Bay. You wouldn't be going through mountains, so there's an advantage there.
Hmm.
Yeah,
I
I
mean,
know
I'm
this
down.
is a lot of logistical talk, but
better
yeah,
to
feel
do
free
it
ask
now
questions
before.
of your advancement.
I'm down to go with your original thing, which is to hit Ian Bay first and then
Okay.
go around. Because I think that maybe the people in
Yeah, we could fuck around with Vanat.
Ian Bay
Two.
and Sorn might be the easiest to figure out.
Yeah. And then we'll have the most support going into the more difficult conversations.
Yeah.
Should we try to do something with the people along the way? I don't know if we're going to end up going through like the main areas in Calamore, but if not, we could easily go through just to get a feel for it and like say some subversive stuff.
Well, because Calamore kind of dips down, right? It's got that weird like peninsula on the bottom of it.
Yeah, it's just hard to know
So,
without knowing.
just to kind of explain how the map is divided, all of the
Mhm.
mountains are their own territory.
Okay.
So that's kind of the way it's divided. So what you don't see is just kind of the base of the mountains and where the valleys connect.
Ah. Let's go to Ian Bay.
Okay.
Let's do it.
Yeah, I'm fine.
Okay. So you're skirting around, or are you going to go through Calamore and kind of get to Ian Bay? Are you going through the mountainous ranges or around it?
Do you want to do anything in Vanat?
Let's go through.
Okay, we'll go through. Yeah, let's
All
go
right.
through.
So you start to exit Banat and you head north to go through Calamore, which is one of the larger mountains that exists in this area. And you are aware that this is an ally of Marassenah. But you enter into this area and it's definitely a very large collection of individuals that live in this locale. They seem to be well respected, and it seems that there is definitely a higher class than you experienced in Votlin. Votlin was definitely put on the outside and not seemingly as respected. As you advance through this area, it's still very dark, and even parts of the top of this mountain seem to disappear into the clouds. Definitely reminiscent of Raven Rock, because you can see the tower from anywhere that doesn't obscure the sky. Like, this tower ascends into the clouds itself and is exceedingly remarkable in the way that it's functioning. Buildings of this caliber don't really exist in the world just due to the technical marvels and the amount of magic that would be required. Any monuments of this magnitude tended to exist before the Mad King started executing a lot of the magic users in his great war against magic. So you continue through Calamore. You're noticing that there is a more even match of humanoids in a slave-like status versus those that are in that are more free and seeming to be working on behest of these other vampires. You're drawing some significant attention as you don't seem to have any sort of a marking either on an object that you're carrying or on your caravan itself. But people don't seem to be questioning you because you are moving through with purpose, even if you are observing what's going on. You can roll perception if you would like.
That'd be great.
Give me a little perception. How does a natural one sound?
It sounds like you are very focused on the reins in your hands because your hands are sweaty.
Why
You're a
are my
little
hands
nervous
so
about what's
sweaty?
going on.
Why are you
And
so
the fact
sweaty
that
all
the
the
other...
time?
And you have that little wound where that vampire used you to create their sigil of support,
Mhm.
which ended up better because it was just utilitarian. But it still is reminiscent in your mind and probably bringing up your conflict that you have about your blood.
Mhm.
I rolled a 14.
Okay. You're noticing as you're moving towards the more ritzy part of Calamore that you're drawing more attention, especially from the vampires that are wearing nicer clothes, whether they are nobility or that previous set of vampires that were trying to project that nobility towards you. You're not sure. You could continue to ask Ruth or Han if you wish. Han is definitely keeping an eye out as he is observing things going on. Did you have him on the front of the caravan, or did you leave him kind of on the inside where he could kind of get more of a 180 view?
I mean, I think he was hanging on the inside, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Okay.
We'll say inside, yeah.
I just,
Okay.
yeah, I don't think we're trying to, like, advertise Han, because he's a bit of a weirdo
Oddity.
in the nicest
Yeah.
way
We
possible.
draw attention without having like a face on a frame.
Yeah.
Sure. Are you going here to gather any sort of information, or are you just trying to pass through as quickly as possible?
I think it'd be fun.
Is there a way to move with purpose but still get some info?
Limitedly, because you are on a cart. If you choose to walk, that could provide you some more advantage as you can listen in. But you can certainly try while on the cart itself.
My perception is so foul that the only thing that I'm gonna get out of this is if we like stop, truthfully.
I'll step off and walk.
If you have a message spell or something else that would allow you to listen in, you're welcome to use that as well. I don't know what's on your spell list.
I don't have any.
Me? No. My spells are all potions. Most of them involve me vomiting.
How colorful.
Molly of the weak stomach.
Yes.
Sure. Are you going to stop at like an inn or some sort of bar or something along those lines to gather information? Or are you just in a bazaar?
Ooh.
I guess, what are you looking for?
Let's hit a bar.
Yeah, I think just a place where it doesn't seem odd for us to stop. So a bar or a tavern or a hotel,
Sure.
if those exist here, I don't know.
Sure. You pull off to the side at a sign that has a bunch of languages written on. One of them is in common, and it says tavern. It's unnamed, which is a little odd, but not exactly anything that you would find weird in vampiric country. Are you taking Ruth or Tectune with you, or are you letting them watch the caravan for you? Or Han?
We bring one. I'll leave them.
Yeah,
both
let's bring one. Can we bring Tectune?
Sure. Tectune comes with you, leaves Ivana inside the cart under Ruth's care. Are you taking anything in with you outside of what you're carrying on your person?
Is there anything in the cart worth taking in with us?
I mean, we stashed all of the
vampire hunting stuff?
Contraband.
No. I think we're gonna be. I think as a show of good faith, maybe we'll go.
It's fine.
Yeah, we'll be okay. We'll just try not to
So
start
you
a fight.
enter into this bar, which seems to be segregated. To the left appears to be the vampires, and you see that there are actually bottles of blood, as well as some individuals that appear to be willing and have basically tubes in their veins where they're functioning as spigots, and blood is continuing to flow into various containers. They seem to be in various states of awareness of what's going on, probably based on the blood loss. To the right, you're noticing that there is a humanoid section of the bar that does seem to have food and drink. You wouldn't call it high class, but it's definitely not a slum type of bar. You're not getting grog and food of questionable date range, and if it's safe to eat.
Okay.
Cool. Is it like, are there different people working? Like, you said there are two sides, basically. Are they like staffed differently, or is it?
It appears to be staffed differently, mostly just because of the way that the bar is divided. It doesn't make sense to have people walking through this main entryway to go serve each other. It doesn't necessarily seem to be done out of malice. It actually seems to be done more for the protection of the patrons on the humanoid side.
Okay. I would like to walk up to the bar.
Sure. You see a very large orc manning the bar.
Why are they always orcs?
Looks down at you, and you notice that they are wearing a ring that is very similar to the one that Molly is wearing.
Molly's gonna less than inconspicuously put her hand on the bar, leaning in. So it's not like a movement that would look unnatural to somebody else, but clearly kind of displays the ring.
The individual looks down at the ring and kind of shares a knowing smile. How can I help you today?
You want it since you have the...
No, I think you should go for it.
Oh. What do you have on tap?
Well, how fucked up do you want to be later today?
Oh, not. We're traveling, so, you know.
Well, we have a really light wine that we just got in, that we watered down. The other option is this ale that we got from a local shipment of humans that came from the Corcus Lake area.
Delightful. We'll take 2 ales.
You get 2 of those ales. They're definitely very bubbly and fizzy. They're more of like a sparkling ale than it is a true ale, but it tastes quite good. It's definitely different from anything you've tasted before, which could be the fact that there are very old brewing practices in place.
Yeah, they knew what they were doing. We should have stopped at a bar in Corcus Lake.
Oh, gosh. Such a beautiful place.
Such a beautiful place. Have you ever been?
Oh, no, I haven't left in quite some time. I actually came from over in Omia.
Wild, wild country out there. Never been.
Well, if you ever head up there, try and avoid the border of La Sec and Atalak. It's 2 warring orc factions.
Oh, that's good to know. We hate war.
Yeah, never.
Messy business.
Yeah, never get in between 2 angry orcs.
Yeah, that's our motto.
It's a very healthy motto.
I give you a look like I can't tell if that was racist or not.
You can tell that he's not unfazed by that statement.
Yeah.
Whether or not it's because he's an orc or because of the life he leads here, he seems to take it as like, that's really good advice.
Smart.
Yeah.
Smart.
Yeah, we've been doing a lot of traveling. Just sort of adventuring, trying to experience the world, writing, taking notes. Our stenographer here, and I point to Tectoon, is I don't know if that's the word that we want. I don't know if it's the title that we technically want, but
he's technically a Pathfinder. So,
yeah, this is our Pathfinder. He's an excellent artist and an author. So we've just been documenting our travels, exploring, trying to really understand the cultures we enter. We're taking a little trip into these, the more vampiric territory, obviously, sort of
Yeah,
You can tell he looks
first
a
time
little-
in vampire country, can you tell?
Oh.
You can tell he looks a little confused. Certainly brave of you to enter here. Are you under any sort of protection? Because I have to admit, I can't imagine coming here of my own volition. You are either quite strong or very stupid.
A little bit of both.
Well, but yeah, it was, we went through an agent. It was part of the package. We got a little letter.
I'm going to show the symbol. It's like, we do have the support of Vampire, limited support. We're on our way to get back. Yeah.
Just
Well,
cool.
that's a
Vacation
interesting
mixed with a little
location.
bit of work,
Yeah, but we're trying to see everywhere we can along the way. I was actually going to ask you, is there? We've been meeting. We met. We've been meeting with sort of city council leaders, various rulers along the way, just trying to get an understanding of how government across this great world works. I was wondering if there was any way to speak with a representative here that you might know about. Is there like an open council? Is that something we can sign up for?
Wow. To be honest, I did not expect that answer. Interested in vampire politics. That is certainly a subject you could spend multiple lifetimes on. And
Well, only got one, unfortunately.
Yeah, I don't quite plan on that. But yeah, with what limited time we have in the kingdom, it seems worth learning and exploring.
I mean, is there like a town hall or anything? You guys have meetings?
not quite a town hall. I mean, you're welcome to seek out these various rulers who are going to be varying willingness to speak to living creatures.
I mean, is there anybody even just like over across the room that knows what's up that you know of we could talk to?
You're
Yeah, you
looking
could-
to speak.
You're running a busy tavern here. There's got to be somebody in the know.
You are certainly a very forward individual.
I've heard that before.
You
Weird.
can tell that he's a little anxious of doing that. You can roll a sense motive.
Sure.
Can I help you or try to help you?
Yeah,
What
you
is,
can roll to assist.
what is that under?
That would be perception.
Perception. Okay.
I don't assist you. I'm sorry. I'm too bad at it.
It's okay.
You're focused on rolling.
18.
You can tell that if you grease his palms, he might be a little more likely to help you. Breaking the segregation doesn't seem impossible, but it's definitely not a common occurrence.
Can I do like an influence roll to try and avoid greasing his palms and just like kind of
Sure.
reassure him?
Sure.
I'm gonna roll first. Ooh, so 15 on the die. Plus 10, so 25.
Sure. What are you using in this argument?
I totally understand the weirdness. I mean, we haven't been in vampire country for very long, but it's very clear that, warm bloods, you don't really mix, right? Right. I get it. And we're not looking for a large amount of information from you. Just a name, just a little nod in a direction. We won't tell anybody. We're notoriously sneaky and,
The fuck?
and calm in these situations. We've been doing this for a few months. No big deal. It's not going to get back to you. I promise. Scout's honor,
I could pull a string and get you into a back room.
Just one little string. That's all we're asking. No big deal.
I suppose the question is there any person in particular that you're looking to speak about? I wouldn't like to put you in an uncomfortable situation.
We're just trying to get our thumb on the pulse. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, we're a lot of my interest when it comes to vampire politics is sort of this weird monarchy system, the way it trickles down Is like you have your queen and you have all these competing factions of various races, and just like understanding everyone's relationship to the queen. And it's fascinating to me that you can have people who you have full support, you have people who seem a little less supportive, but they're still they're still holding this together, keeping the monarchy stable. And I guess just anyone
for me.
Percentile?
Continue your thought.
Okay. All right. These. Okay. There's no zeros on this, so I'm just so you are holding me accountable. I'm gonna have the one on this side be the tens, the one on this side be the.
Okay.
One. That's a 23.
23, really?
Yes.
Okay, and you can finish your thought.
Yeah. I mean, that was basically the gist of my thought. I was just talking. I was just going to keep rambling on. Essentially, just somebody who understands the relationship of. Can I see the map again? I completely forgot where we are. No, Callamore. Sorry.
Yeah.
So who understands the relationship between Callamore and Raven Rock, kind of, and the way the royalty kind of interact. And
well, if this works, I'm going to tell you, you are going to have an incredible insight that most living individuals would not have. If you want to, he kind of signals over to a tall elven woman. If you want to follow, oh God, what's her name? Essie here. She'll take you over to a meeting room in the back.
Oh, wonderful. Thank you so much. And I'm actually gonna pass him 10 gold coins. Just because I understand the risk that he's taking, and I know we didn't have to do that, but like as a show of like good faith, I do want to give him. He
definitely raises an eyebrow. And for both of our benefits, I don't remember any sort of conversation that we had about this. And he takes
100%.
I mean, this is a delicious ale. I only remember talking about the beer and good company, and this is great.
I'm sure you'll find several, we'll say a small keg of this ale back there waiting for you during this meeting.
Thank you.
So, you are escorted back to this room, and before you even make it there, there's already a keg in that room. And she says, enjoy. Is there anything else you need to soak up some of this ale while you're waiting?
Oh, you know what I just craved? Do you have any of those little like finger sandwiches? Yeah, with the cucumbers and the butter. Just,
Don't. Just don't even indulge her. Just go.
Maybe a little smear of like canned fish.
The more that you bring her, the more she's going to ask for. Okay.
You see her kind of laugh at your request, and I'll see what I can manage. And she
you give a cat a sandwich.
So, after about 5 minutes, she comes back with, you can tell that this was a custom creation. They took essentially French bread, which is not quite a biscotti, but it's definitely not a soft finger sandwich. And they took
bread.
some fish. Yeah, and they kind of slathered it in butter, melted it a little bit to try and loosen it up. It's not terrible, but it's definitely not a cucumber finger sandwich. It's like what's a good example? It's like a savory version of that sandwich, and instead of cucumbers, you have pickles because they keep longer. But think of it like a kind of like a tuna fish sandwich, but more savory than it is fishy.
Delicious. I really appreciate the effort.
She brought out an
ask her for something else.
No, I'm fine. This is fine.
Wow.
She brought a tray out for you too, as well, Molly.
Oh, thank you. I'll have one of the sandwiches. I feel less good about it. I'm still kind of off fish after all of those ship journeys.
Actually, you know what? Could we get another like pile of napkins just for the table? That would be great. Thank you.
And if you want to bring some extra like ketchup, she's gonna ask for that when you come back with the napkins.
Actually, I prefer catsup. Thank you.
Sorry, we've done this. I told you. I'm sorry. I give her 5 gold. I'm just like, this is.
She is laughing at this interaction that you're having. She says, "You realize they work in a tavern, right? This is pretty low maintenance and very well paying. So is there anything else that you need? I can check in periodically, but not once your guest arrives."
Yeah, if you just come back every like 5 minutes, that would be great. I'm sure I'll think of something else that the table is missing.
Another 5 minutes comes by, and she brings you napkins. You
Oh my
still
gosh,
haven't
thank
had your
you.
individual come in yet, which you wouldn't necessarily be worried about because it sounds like this individual is somewhat important and maybe busy.
Mm. You know,
So,
do you have ice water here? Can I get a glass of ice water? And
I'll bring-
accidentally dropped my fork on the floor, so I'm gonna need a new set of silverware as well. You're
The next
really a
5
doll.
minutes comes-
Thank you.
The next 5 minutes comes by and she gives you more of what you asked for.
Oh
You
my
see that
gosh,
she
thanks.
came with more napkins and another set of those sandwiches just in case.
And you know that I know this is like a backroom situation, but that window, the sun is coming in directly
sun.
into my eye. Oh, there's no sun.
The moon.
The moon is really bright. Do you have a shade or something, or could we twist the
It's
blind?
right there. If you just draw it, it's.
Oh yeah, I can't quite. Can you?
You watch as she waves her hand and it closes.
Oh, thank you. Beautiful.
Ooh, magic.
So magic.
She nods and then continues out.
I'm sorry. Do you need anything? Are you good? Do you?
We're fine.
We're good.
We're fine. Thank you. Thank you for making this such a chore, like you always do.
Do you have fresh ground pepper? Actually.
She's not in the room with me. She had
Oh.
stepped away.
You
All
can
right.
go grab her.
I'll just wave her down next time.
Yeah, there's no way it's any more of a burden than what you're already doing.
You're in a private room, so you'd have to open the door to get her attention, but you can wait for her to come back in.
It's fine.
Yeah. So in another 5 minutes passes by. She brings you the fresh ground pepper and leaves. So it's now been 25 minutes since you've been told you're going to meet with this individual.
Okay, I'm gonna make a perception check just in the room, just in case, because vampires are all invisible like that. Oh, it's a 6.
It's a very nice room. It's pretty unremarkable. It's definitely it's very similar to think the back room that mobsters would kind of meet in. It has that sort of feel to it, but more plush. So you're probably not going to be beheaded or killed in this spot.
Okay.
I mean, there's really no reason.
Can I ask Tectune? Can you detect invisibility? Can you
Let me see if Tectune
see the
would
truth?
have would have prepared that. Are you looking for
Textural
a
tune?
zone of truth type
More
of
of
spell?
more of just a figuring out if somebody's just hanging out here with us waiting.
Oh, like detect magic sort of thing?
Yeah, just figure out what's going on. Because if we are just waiting, then we're just waiting. It's just one of those things where vampires are all spooky and shit.
Tectune detects magic, and he's like, the lights are about all that's going on, and it's because it's that same sort of stone that's emitting light. He says, I don't see anything of any particular danger, to be totally
Okay.
honest. Is there anything you want me to record while we're waiting here? I know that we've been pretty sparse about the recording.
Could you
He's getting a
draw?
voice.
Oh yeah, could you draw a picture of us just looking like absolute masters of our domain here in this room, eating sandwiches, kicking our feet up? Just a quick sketch, just for me, just for my whole thing. Don't write anything about where we are, what we're doing.
It's a 23. It's quite
Oh,
ornate. It
Wow.
They definitely added some flair to the way that Felicity's hat is going and the way that Molly kind of has a series of bombs hanging off of her hip. Boots kicked up. The alchemical arm is definitely on display, shining in the light. And you are eating buttered cucumber sandwiches.
oh, beautiful.
Okay, and looking this good, people still aren't showing up.
I would like to remind you that vampires function on different time, and if this individual is, in fact, is important, it might be worth being patient.
Okay.
And also, we don't know whose side this is on, so we may want to be particularly careful about the information that we are giving.
Absolutely.
I'm just having a blast eating these.
I'm just here to learn.
Another few minutes pass, and then you hear a gentle, very gentle knock at the door. Like, almost imperceptible.
I'm going to get up and open the door in, like, a very accommodating way.
You see this halfling sitting in the door, and you see that they're, like, in a tux and tails, very, very well dressed, has a top hat that they're carrying in their hands. I was here to meet with a few individuals regarding the function of Raven Rock.
Oh my gosh, that's us. Hello, it's so nice to meet you. Thank you so much.
Yeah, we have sandwiches here for you, or I'm happy to run to the bar, grab you some blood if you prefer. We haven't met on that level yet, so I don't know what it is you're looking to drink in order.
Thank you, I've quite had my fill. And he strides in and reaches out to shake your hand. Sir Drago.
Ah, Drago, lovely to meet you.
Reaches
Give him,
out.
like, the firmest handshake.
Oh,
My
lady.
name is Jessica. My name is Jessica Simpson.
I'm Barbara.
And this is Barbara Bush.
That's Barbara. You always forget that. I know it's weird. My parents were funny people.
Yeah.
It's fine.
And Tectoon is like, I am Tectoon Glass. I am a Pathfinder for the Pathfinder. For the Society of Records.
He's very good at his job. It's stellar performance. It's been a pleasure, really.
Drago shakes each of your hands and takes a seat. Frankly, it's quite interesting to meet with warm bloods such as yourself. And he sets his hat down on the table, and you see that he's wearing gloves, like the white gloves. I don't often receive such requests, nor do I tend to accept them, but we'll just say that there was a persuasive argument with which to meet with you, being guests to our kingdom.
That's awful thoughtful of you. I'm grateful you're taking the time out of your day to meet with us, and I hope that we don't. I hope that you don't find it too wasteful.
So, do you have any idea who I am?
Drago, truthfully, I have no idea. We've entered most of Raven Rock and the surrounding areas without any understanding of vampire culture or politics. And a lot of the reason that we ask to meet with somebody is just to gather a little bit more depth of understanding, and just to get to know how a place like this operates and exists, and what politics are like to those who live potentially forever.
Also, to avoid stepping on any proverbial toes while we're here.
Well, of course, the practical.
Yeah.
I am the Grand Vizier to Marassenah Sarangena, the Empress of Raven Rock. Everything regarding the council goes through me. So, truly, in the Court of Nobles, if you have questions, I'm the individual you wish to speak with. Granted, parts of our conversation may get back to Marassenah Sarangena, so please take that into account when we're having such discussions.
Obviously,
I have no desire nor need to hide anything from my Empress.
Yeah.
And neither do we.
Yeah. No need there as well. This is not. And yeah, nothing we're going to talk about needs to be off of anybody's record. Truly, just
you see that he relaxes in a very formal way. It's definitely not like lounging into the chair, but it's sitting back, fingers still crossed, looking at you quizzically. I suppose I want to make sure that we use our time wisely. What questions do you have about the functioning of this society?
I guess I'll start. Obviously, Queen Marassenah is the overall authority when it comes to all of these kingdoms, but when it comes kingdom, pardon me, all of this kingdom, thank you. See, this is why we needed somebody. when it comes to these individual, counts, dukes, what have you, who control territories, what authority do they hold? Like these council members, how do they interact with Queen Marassenah?
They, if they are wise, treating her with the utmost respect as she deems who has power. When she took over the kingdom of Raven Rock roughly 1,000 years ago, the individuals whom assisted her were given great power in response to their loyalty. For example, the Grand Duke Luwin Martin and Grand Duchess Alestria Martin are the only Grand Duke and Grand Duchess to exist. The Royal Highnesses actually run Raven Rock itself. Mm-hmm. So there are others who were not as wise and stood up to Marassenah, who were executed, or in other ways, we'll say, wisely decided to follow Marassenah's orders. Other individuals did not go either way, and if they didn't seem to be causing problems, currently hold the titles that they had before. Marassenah has really shooken up society in a way by including the vampires that are not Moroi, by including the Jiangshi and the Nosferatu and the Vitala, particularly excluded from society, and that has led to, we'll say, some distaste in some unwise vampire decisions. The Court of Nobles truly advises Marassenah, but she can choose to take the advice if she so chooses. The court, however, does not include any counts or countesses, which some individuals hold. Does not include viscounts, baron, baronets, countess, which has led to some sourness. But Marassenah has no reason to expand her current Court of Nobles. You see, too large a group makes things too messy.
Understood. We travel fairly light as well. Not that you could compare what we do to running a kingdom of immortal beings.
I would think it's more comparable than you would believe. Let's just say that I live and breathe, or rather unlive and breathe politics.
Smart man.
Well, I'm happy that somebody enjoys that lifestyle.
It's rather bold for Marassenah to allow these sowers of discontent to just sort of retain their titles and their land. Does that not cause issues? I mean, I understand that some lower titles are not included in the running of government, so that kind of pushes that out.
When you say sowers of discontent, are you speaking of anyone in particular?
Oh, just, I mean, on our way here, we traveled through various territories that were certainly less affluent than this one. And so I'm just wondering if that's a product of how they interacted with Marassenah prior to her gaining the throne?
Potentially. But Marassenah truly, anything that happens within their domain, Marassenah can upturn. But the state that the denizens of said location live in is truly up to the quality of the leader of that domain. And if it seems that they are, in fact, incapable of running that facility, they're very easily taken out and replaced, unless they serve some other purpose.
Right. I guess I'm just curious, why not replace any breath of not total agreedness?
Yeah.
Like, why let these people stay in their stations?
It's certainly easier to listen to someone who is given a microphone than it is to try and find them hiding amongst the rats.
It's a microphone.
Oh.
No, I'm just kidding.
No, that's a pedestal, we'll say. A pedestal or a pulpit.
She must be so comfortable and assured in her power, and that's a very delightful thing to see, you know, that she can allow these people to retain their station and not be worried
Anyone
about
is
them.
foolish to stand up against Marassenah will quickly learn how foolish they are.
Mm.
So they're welcome to speak, but they know all words get back to me.
Wonderful.
Cool.
I understand in the short lifespans of warm bloods, it's easier to remove those that cause any sort of issue. And yes, we have had rulers that have done such as that, but breeding discontent in individuals whom do not have, we'll say, any natural means of losing that discontent by dying off is generally a poor decision.
Yeah, and I think that's a lot of well, it points to one of the reasons that we're so lucky to have someone like you with us to have these conversations. And certainly, obviously, didn't expect someone of your station to take the time to speak with us, but really understanding the difference in perspective between us warm bloods versus yourself. Obviously, you know, time is a very different creature to both of us, and it's very easy for us to see things one way that you see entirely differently, just because a lot of the restrictions and the blocks that it presents don't exist for
You
you.
watch as Drago fills out just like a note card-sized piece of parchment, and you watch as he folds it up and signs it, and it disappears. But he doesn't seem to be drawing attention to that. This feels very normal to him. I'm sorry, could you please repeat? I had a note I needed to send.
Oh,
Is there, you know, we're not really.
I rolled a 7 perception check to see if I could make out any of the words he was sending while I was talking, because he
What
clearly
languages
wasn't
do you
listening.
speak?
What languages do I speak? I speak a bunch, but probably not his. Pardon me. Common, Gnomish, Sylvan, Goblin, Undercommon, Catfolk, and Gripply. Was he speaking in Gripply?
He was actually writing in Common. And it said...
Then why'd you ask what
didn't-
languages I speak? Yeah.
Sorry. No, not Common. Sorry. Say those names one more time.
Common, Gnomish, Sylvan, Goblin, Undercommon, Catfolk, and Gripply.
Sorry. Sylvan, you recognize the letters, but you do not understand what they make up.
Okay.
So it's words, languages related to Sylvan are generally Elvish or Druidic in some sort of nature. So it's probably Elvish. And it was
Okay.
It was just a list of like 3 things. It was like a bullet point list.
I'm curious, we're being travelers and recorders and traveling with a storyteller and a Pathfinder.
There's a knock at the door. And then you watch as Drago says, enter, and the woman who has served you comes out with a plate of an array of cheeses and sunflower seeds and nuts and just a variety of... Make a nature check for me.
That's 11.
Worse than that. It's
You're noticing that a lot of these foods require heavy sunlight to be produced, so they are not produced anywhere locally.
Wow.
And she comes and set it down along with what appears to be a very expensive bottle of wine.
Beautiful.
Thank you, Essie. I appreciate it. And she shuts the door behind them and pops the wine and pours some. Would you care for a taste?
I would love some, Drago. And actually, if you are interested in wine, I do have a blend that I personally have been working on. If you know, we finish this lovely bottle, I would love some input just down the line. You know, workshopping.
You're gonna make him
Excellent.
more intelligent.
No.
He gives you he actually produces little sherry glasses from inside a pocket and pours you each a little bit of this wine. Opulent is not the right word, nor is perfect, but it is an overwhelming sense of this is the finest wine you have ever tasted in your entire lives. This is a level of decadence that you would hope to breach at the height of piracy.
Tectune, I'm gonna need you to write down that vintage for me.
Yes.
I don't know why I looked at
Tectune
you.
writes it down, and you watch his jaw actually drop, and then finishes writing it. And, oh, you like?
Oh, it's incredible. Could I indulge you? Tectune, would you draw a quick portrait of him to give to him? We don't need to keep it. Just want something flattering for the young halfling.
Are you saying this out loud within where he can hear?
Yeah, I'm gonna ask Tectune to draw a portrait. Because vampires can't see reflections, right?
Correct.
I want him to know how good he looks.
So you see Tectune start to draw, but Tectune is actually shaking. You've now realized that he seems very unnaturally frightened of this situation. And Tectune at some point gives up and just tosses it and says, I don't think I can do justice to this individual.
Oh, it's okay. We all have bad days.
Drago continues to sit. So, what inspired you to come to our kingdom?
You know,
Of
I
all
was...
kingdoms. Truly, I would be shocked if the stories of Marassenah's takeover of the kingdom hadn't permeated outside of these walls, and most warm bloods are afeared of vampires in general.
Oh, absolutely. But, you know, your power is immense. How could us mortals not be at least a little bit terrified? You know, in the most awe-inspiring way, of course. But certainly you.
In a very flattering way. It will serve you in this society.
You know, I've heard that as well.
Yeah.
You can tell that he is genuinely enjoying this conversation, and is a little intrigued at what you know and don't know about the society. And he's not hiding this fact.
Truly,
he also pushes the tray to the middle so you guys can partake of his meal.
I'm gonna let that sit. I'm not sure I trust it.
I'm gonna try some of these just to show respect. Can I make like a casual nature check while I do it, just to see if this is gonna taste, if this tastes like something I shouldn't be eating?
Sure.
I can't hear you, by the way.
Oh, you can't?
Oh, now I can. Sorry, I thought I saw you say sure, but I didn't hear anything.
I did say sure. Maybe it just didn't catch it.
What'd you get?
Natural 20, baby.
Oh,
am I gonna die?
Please.
Did you do?
Another 20.
Double 20s, baby.
Okay,
am
roll
I
one more
gonna
time
die?
for me.
One more time.
11.
You have seen this cheese with the cheesemonger. And
the Magic Iceman?
Yes, Magic Iceman. And you realize this is some of the most expensive cheese that was in that wagon.
Oh, can I have that conversation with him then? Do I have to roleplay it and be like, "Oh, believe it or not, we've had this cheese before. I met one of the salesmen."
You have not had this cheese.
Oh, I haven't.
But you have seen this cheese. Like this is like tons of platinum cost of cheese.
Okay, so they were like, it wasn't even part of the conversation. Cheese.
Correct.
This is incredible.
But you have seen this before. You recognize the brand on the wheel.
Okay, yes, but it's not like the cheesemonger. It's not like this was his cheese.
It's not the Owlbear cheese, no.
Okay, never mind then. Okay, so I won't have that conversation with him, but I will eat the cheese and I will look at you and be like,
"It's a good cheese."
Just huge eyes. Just don't even respond. It's just like,
it's difficult to swallow because you want to savor the flavor. It's that good.
Drago, you do us a great service offering us these foods, though I fear I won't be able to to eat anything else ever again.
Well, as someone who does not need to eat ever again, I find ways to continue.
Aw. So I'm wondering if you'll allow this as like part of casual conversation, just talking about like the ways in which Marassenah sort of controls those in her council and under her command and all the different areas. If I can burn a story point, potentially more if necessary. I have 3 to drop names of other individuals we might not be aware of who are like closer, who are like less supportive. Or if I could get the names of those who are like most supportive.
Sure, and you can use the story points and ask me that question in character, and with me understanding that that's your goal.
Okay, God dang it. That's what I was afraid of. I don't know how to do this without making it sound like a trap. I've been trying to figure that out this whole time.
I will take that into account, but also just try.
Yeah.
Drago is perceptible and will probably understand what you're implying.
Yeah. Could you continue some casual conversation while I think about a way to do this, Victoria?
Yeah.
I need a moment to phrase it.
So, you know, we're being just travelers on a worldly experience here. We're not really equipped for any conflict of any sort. Are there any provinces that maybe we should avoid as admirers of the crown?
As admirers of Marassenah, you mean?
Yes.
Attempting to... If you wish to stay in good graces by avoiding certain locations, I would recommend avoiding Botlin, Ienve, Sorn, Pinnacle, potentially Venat. If you're noticed going to those locations, it would probably draw some attention to you. Now, if you're looking for particularly nice domains, Raven Rock, I would highly recommend as a location to visit.
We're saving that one for last because I think it's really gonna awe us. And
yeah, and we want to have the best perspective that we can on Chariot culture before we, you know, see the true monument to what you've accomplished.
So those are. Oh, go ahead.
I can't promise, but if you happen to make it to Raven Rock and I'm there, let me know, and I may be able to show you more of Raven Rock Tower if you wish.
Oh, absolutely. We would love to do that. Do we send a missive to your staff, or how do we get in touch with you?
Let anyone at the gate know that you're searching for me, and I will find out.
Wonderful. So those other areas, is it just about social graces that we should avoid, or are they particularly dangerous, or?
Some individuals are less apt to protect individuals of warm blood.
Okay.
Consider your safety, especially when traveling, say, to... Oh, sorry, I have to... Solestra might be a wise area to avoid.
Okay. Also, just casually, because I'm concerned we may have already passed through. Was it Venat or Botlin? Which of the two did we already pass through?
Botlin.
Oh,
you passed through Sentinel and Botlin.
Okay, so we've already actually had to pass through Botlin to get here, and you had mentioned we might be looked down upon for traveling through. Is that something we should be concerned about?
I think your forthrightness is probably giving you some grace. Again, you are a new visitor. How would you know?
Okay.
It would be quite foolish to be entering with the purpose of visiting these locations. And I would deem any human, catfolk, gnome, anyone really, entering into those locations to be given grace.
Oh, thank you. I mean, your kindness is just overwhelming.
Yeah.
We really appreciate it.
This has been an absolute shock.
I think that there is a lot about vampire society that is misunderstood.
Oh,
And I think you have the
100%.
opportunity to experience it accurately.
And if you
Now-
would deem it acceptable, we would really like to share our knowledge and what we've experienced here with the greater world and continent, and just to sort of push aside some of that mist. I mean, you're all still terrifying and wonderfully dangerous, and you know, nobody. We're not looking to suggest that your borders are open or anything like that.
You're
But the-
welcome to
yeah.
continue to publish. I believe that you would have it in your best interest to send a copy to me or even have it to review. But Marassenah is not opposed to the workings of her country being out. Just no one has been so inquisitive and willing to really explore the options available to you. And especially the ones to you being so in the know as you are. I would say that you are a very small group, and I think that you certainly have some liberties afforded to you that others may not.
Oh, absolutely. We're very fortunate.
Yeah, very, very
I
grateful.
gather on you that you are carrying a sigil for Ian Vey. Is that correct?
We are, yes.
Yeah.
May I ask why you're going to Ian Vey?
Why are we going to?
I can never remember the dude's name. You know, when we were planning this trip, our organizer, the organization that our Pathfinder is from, sort of set up, you know, stops for us along the way and took care of the whole diplomatic hullabaloo that one needs to enter so-called foreign lands.
Yeah, and I'm going to use whatever's left of my story points here to make that sound as like casual and uninteresting to him as possible.
Do,
Roll a perception check for me, both of you.
Please don't
Okay.
make me roll a perception check. Any other check.
Ooh, okay, 16 on the die plus 5, so 21.
Okay.
How does a 10 sound?
Sexy.
Tectoon seems fine to you. Felicity, you notice that Tectoon's eyes dart and look directly into yours as you say this, realizing that you've put him on a chopping block if things go wrong.
Oh, well, you know, just the organization, not, you know, Tectoon obviously, like, isn't our planner. I don't know how to.
Yeah, I mean it's an international organization. They have whole like fronts associated with this
Mhm.
with the planning kind of thing. He's more of a employee, truthfully.
Yeah,
Well, seeing as you are headed there anyway, I think it would be rude for you not to attend. Would you be willing to pass on a note for me?
oh, absolutely. I mean, just the fact that you would trust us with such a missive is incredible.
You watch as they hold up the page, and you can't see what's being written, and is quickly writing. You see as they prick their own tongue to make this writing every time. And then sign it with a sigil, close it, and put another sigil. And you watch as this shock of magic enraptures the thing, and he hands it over to you.
Of course, I tuck it in, like, my jacket pocket.
It feels cold.
Refreshing.
Well, it was a pleasure to meet you.
Did you get to ask everything?
Barbara,
Jessica Simpson.
Jessica Simpson, and Tectoon. I don't wish to draw anything to an abrupt close, but I have about 5 more minutes before I need to get to my next appointment, and
Oh, of
I
course.
really
Yours
would like
is
to
very.
leave us in where you feel that our conversations have been wrapped up nicely.
Did you okay, so outside of this, Dungeon Master, Victoria's question, did you basically answered my question from Victoria's question,
Oh, I'm sorry.
right? I just want to make sure that you're not
Yes,
waiting
I
for me on
answered-
that.
I gave you as
Because
much as
you
I could,
cleared everything out pretty
and you
quickly.
used
Yeah.
your story points for that.
Yep,
so.
I burned through all 3 between that and then making our having a sigil from a place that he said was disreputable seem more casual than sinister. Whether or not he feels that way, whatever. But that was the goal. So I just wanted to make sure that we were set there, because I feel satisfied. I don't think we're going to get a clearer answer than that. But no, I feel like let's not waste any more of your time, Drago. But we will certainly be asking for you at Raven Rock in the near future.
Excellent. And you see him stare at your ring. I see Anoxie is keeping tabs on you. Did you, by chance, fall victim to her sensual wiles?
We did. It was our the first area that we traveled into, and
Sort of the only reason she
wish.
left leave.
Yeah, I wish we had met you sooner.
Roll influence.
You're gonna have to roll influence.
Can I assist? Who are you asking to roll?
I am asking you, Victoria, as the one who
Okay.
said that.
Can I help? Because I'm technically having this conversation too.
Yes, you are welcome to assist.
You don't need the help.
I do help, just in
Oh,
case.
okay.
So you get an extra 2.
Oh, okay. That makes that a 28.
Well, do you want that removed? I can take care of that for you. Granted, she will know. She won't know it was me.
Yeah. Let's address that when we're back in Raven Rock, maybe. Because I would like it removed, but I also don't know that I fully trust her. And the threats the threats under removing it were very, very clear.
And we're in the middle of our trip. We don't want something like this to ruin our rest of our.
We're gonna. I think clearing it up when I come back to Raven Rock, is going to be a safer bet than clearing it up and then potentially traveling further and just giving her more opportunities to find us on the road and whatever punishment awaits.
Drago leans back and smiles. I think you have a greater understanding of vampire society than you're giving yourself credit for. Not making enemies is wise, but understand that wearing that ring will draw you attention. And I'm not saying it's from me or Marassenah, but it is not difficult to understand who is wearing that ring.
Okay.
So,
she's got
take that
great
as you will.
pockets that
Yeah,
she can just put her hands
I
in.
sincerely appreciate 1, the offer, and 2, the information surrounding that offer. But again, yours is a fascinating culture, but truly a heart-breaking, heart-wrenchingly terrifying one. And I'm looking to step in as few pitfalls as possible.
I think Marassenah would be very happy to hear about what you think of her culture that she has so carefully crafted.
Well, feel free to pass that on. And again, once we do get some of these writings set in stone, we will certainly forward them to both yourself and Marassenah for review. Just ahead of time, as we prepare those, one last thing. Would you like us to include names? Obviously, Marassenah's name is known to all, so I can't imagine shortening anything to the Queen of the Vampires is going to be helpful or in hiding her identity at all. But would you like your name mentioned at all?
I don't think there's any need for my name. Those who know Marassenah know me. And
Okay,
if they don't
perfect.
know of Marassenah, they will learn of me rapidly.
Okay. Well, if we feel the need to bring up your name, you'll certainly have the opportunity to remove it before anyone reads it. Should you deem that necessary?
You watch as he stands, which does not raise him much up from his sitting position, and he puts his hat back on and puts his gloves, and you watch as he smears some cheese and caviar onto one of the crackers and sprinkles some sunflower seeds on it and pops it into his mouth, downs the rest of his wine and pushes it over to you. I have a feeling you will appreciate this more than I, considering I am quite full off of what I had earlier. I think that you will find your stay quite interesting, and know that there is power in the barter of your blood as unique races, and also that of your friend sitting in your caravan. Please stay safe, enjoy your journey, and I will see you upon your return. And you watch as he gently knocks on the door, and it's opened for him. And then he leaves, and the door is shut.
Molly just like shrinks into her seat. She's just like, fuck. Fuck. Oh. Tectune, are you okay?
Yeah, what's going on with Tectune?
Tectune is like, you said I set up this meeting. Way to throw me under the bus if things go wrong.
I didn't say you set up the meeting. I said you helped us plan the trip.
I don't know.
Tectune is just shaken about this individual. We spoke with Marassenah's closest ally.
I think you're blowing things out of proportion.
I think we did one, we did okay. Two, we had no way of knowing.
Are you trying to calm Tectune down? Because you can roll an influence if you're trying to.
I'm just trying, I don't know if I'm trying to calm him down. I guess, yes, I'm trying to calm him, but by making him understand that I too am just as terrified about everything that's going on, and like, make him feel like, okay, we're all in this together. We have always been all in this together.
Okay, yeah, go ahead and roll influence. And
That's an
Melissa, if
11?
you want to aid, you're
Wait,
welcome
no.
to do that as well.
Okay,
That's a 14.
I'll aid. Whoop. I'm rolling
On a book?
on a boat. Yeah, I help.
Yeah, you should have done that first. It's okay. So that's 2 plus 16.
Tectune relaxes a little and does feel that they won't be left behind to disappear should you need a fall guy.
Oh,
No.
yeah, no.
Tectune, no, we are here. We are here together, and whether you like it or not, you're a member of our crew. There's a reason you get a cut, not just, your typical salary for the work that you do. And that isn't necessarily just contractual. That's
Tectune nods and he watches the sherry glasses were left here. And he tops off one of the sherry glasses, drinks the wine quickly, and then fills up another glass and sips on it slowly.
You tell me that's not the best thing you've ever drank.
I can honestly say it is not, and I can also tell you you will never be able to buy this wine.
I'm aware. Do you know how much this cheese costs? Because I don't. It's a number that I truly cannot count to.
Don't tell me what I can or cannot do.
Taste this fucking
vineyard
cheese.
has
I
been
shoved
closed
cheese
for
in your face.
3,000 years.
Okay, but I mean,
It burned down.
there's obviously bottles somewhere.
Well, hopefully you make really good friends with
I'm gonna take
Drago.
notes about this blend and try to improve my brain line.
All right. So you're writing down your taste notes. Do you want to do
Yes.
a craft check for me?
I would love to do a craft check for you.
Or nature, whichever you choose.
Craft is better. Can I do a craft alchemy check? Like a potion check? Or is this like pure regular craft?
I would say you could probably argue this is somewhat alchemical. It is
Okay,
poison.
because I can also take nature if you prefer,
No,
if you think
do
that's more
alchemical.
realistic. Okay, so that's
I
a
think
19.
they will give you different information.
Yeah, could I do both then?
Sure. There's enough of the wine
Yeah.
left you could do.
19 alchemy for the first glass, and then a 13 nature for the second.
You have an uncultured tongue when it comes to wine.
Fact. You could have stopped at the word tongue.
You're uncultured.
But you realize that there are some flavors that you could give to this based off of your alchemical knowledge and adding chemicals to it.
Okay.
It may not be authentic, but it could be replicated. Think of it as like a synthetic wine to some degree.
Sick.
But you cannot tell what grapes this is. I mean, you could look at the bottle and get information that you can. But it is a very old script of common.
I rolled a 4
Imagine
on my
trying to
perception
read
check.
old-
I imagine I can't read it.
Yeah, imagine it like reading Old English.
Mm.
Like you can
But is
get
this an
some
F
of it.
or a 2 S's or an L?
Yep.
I look at Felicity like she'd be willing to help me.
Huh? What?
Yeah, sorry.
No, I don't read for fun.
Yeah. All right.
Tectoon asks, like, kind of hands out the bottle if anyone wants any more wine. Because if not, he's going to finish it.
Tectoon, I think you've earned the rest of that. Actually, if you could save a glass for Ruth, I think she'd really appreciate it.
I think that would be a good idea.
Also, if you haven't had any of this cheese, please.
Tectoon looks at the label. I've never heard of this.
Yeah, the cheesemonger. Remember that guy we almost killed was carrying it?
Oh, yes, I remember him.
Yeah, didn't even bring it up to us. Knew that we couldn't afford it. But also, he may be here. I don't know if that's the takeaway from all of this.
Remember,
yeah, okay. Oh, that's true. So he was. I think we're on his trade route. But but yeah, I don't think we could ever even begin to imagine affording this. I think one bite of this is like the boat that we're trying to buy, the ship.
We're not trying to buy anything. That is my ship.
Okay. Well, can we try to preserve the rest of this cheese and sell it? I don't think we can sell it. I think we should just eat it. I don't know what I'm thinking about. Sorry, we're gonna get her. We're gonna get Felicity a ship. We're gonna
Not
get this cheese.
ship.
Her ship. Well, your ship is all fucked up and stuff. It's got new. We could make a better one with bigger guns and sharper swords and a sexier crew. And this frog will be there. And you don't even.
Frog is a slur.
Pardon me, Ripley. I apologize. I'm still figuring out. There's like a lot of races and therefore a lot of racial slurs in this world.
And I just don't really have time to learn.
I can't be bothered to learn. Yeah.
You can tell that Tectoon is more than a little drunk, and that's the reason he's bringing that up. Frog's a slur.
All right, well, stop calling you that. Is Toad also a slur? That's not me calling you one. That's just me needing the information.
Because frogs and toads are different.
Yeah, and frogs and toads are friends.
Gripply.
Sorry, I keep saying, so Grippleys and toads are different, but Grippleys and toads are friends.
Just Gripply.
It's just Gripply? Okay, cool.
Just call me Gripply.
No more, none of the F word and none of the T word. We're done with that.
Yeah.
We're gonna move on with our relationship, and you're not gonna have to worry about that kind of profanity out of Molly's mouth.
He winks and does finger guns.
Sweet. I'm gonna grab the bottle and then I'm gonna attempt to sleight of hand the tray of cheese under my coat in a way.
Are you taking the tray?
No, I'm gonna try to like put it on something that they'll let me take out of the bar. But I just don't want it. I don't want to look like I'm leaving with all of this expensive stuff like a poor person.
Do you have paper?
Oh, for sure. I mean, Tectoon's got paper.
Yeah, so you just kind of wrap it in paper and you can put it in your bag or whatever.
Yeah, so I sleight of hand to do it sneakily as a 27.
You're in a private room. You don't have to be sneaky about it.
Okay, well, I try to hide my... That's a 27 to hide my poverty.
I don't think, like, the waitress is gonna rat us out or anything.
That's true.
You have
She cares.
hidden your poverty from Felicity and Tectoon.
Thank you. Good.
What?
So how many copper are you tipping?
I gave the barman 10 gold.
Oh, that's sweet. We're set. I gave her 5 gold. We can eat.
I don't...
Okay.
I mean, honestly, she did give me everything that I wanted, but she could have smiled more.
She could have smiled more.
So, I don't know.
I'm gonna write a really nice message on the back of like some form of receipt. Be like, "Happy Mother's Day. Have have a great year." And we're gonna just under tip, like 5%. Just like.
Are you taking the sherry glasses that were left here?
No, just the bottle.
By Kosovo. Or, I'm sorry, not Kosovo. By
Drago. By Ivan Drago? No.
Are they, like, especially nice?
Oh, yeah. These are, like, crystal. Like,
Wait.
He likely didn't leave these here on purpose. Or maybe he did.
I'll take them.
Oh, wait, no. Tectoon, detect magic on those glasses. Please. Your drunken wisdom, we need you.
He does a little like
I love Bizzle.
focus. Nah, just nice.
Just nice?
Just nice.
Just nice.
All right, you can pocket them.
Yeah. Load up my big old coat pockets.
Just don't want to be tracked.
Jingle, jingly
Sounds
crystal.
like he could just track us. So
Yeah, I don't
You
think
have a
he
ring
needs...
that allows you to be tracked too.
yeah, but by somebody who's less, somehow less. I'm scared of all of these people. You know what? Worst case scenario, I just blow up. So, yeah, I guess. Yeah, we just blow up and then start over on someone new damn. Molly's ready for that.
So with you guys packing up and getting ready to go, we're gonna take a brief break and then come back.
Heck yeah! God. Oh my.
All right. You have currently finished packing up your food and have left the tavern's back rooms and are currently walking through. The orc
wait.
looks over it. Oh, sorry.
I was gonna. Never mind. You're going to the orc, so we're okay. I do
Yeah,
want to
so
stop
the orc-
real quick.
Yeah, the orc looks over at you and just kind of raises an eyebrow, just in sort of a "did things go well" type of.
I put on a big smile.
Thank you so much for that connection. That was so helpful. I mean, thank you
The
for your
cake
great
connection.
service.
Yeah, the
Oh my gosh.
connection.
That ale was beautiful.
Yeah, I know that last spigot was a pain, so I'm glad we were able to get you the second one.
Oh, it was great.
Seriously, such a huge and honestly, just as a traveler, it's so incredible to feel welcomed and supported in a new community and feel like people are actually trying to engage with you and help you. So, as a gesture of goodwill, would you mind pouring a couple pitchers of water real quick?
Pours you water and pushes them out.
I pull out a little vial, I drip it into both, and you got 2 pitchers of delicious brain wine. There's some free wine for your guests. I've been working on a new formula. It's not poisoned. I'll drink a glass if you need me to prove it.
You can see that he's like, I need to have you prove it just for my purposes. He gives you a shot glass of the wine of each.
Pour it in. I sip it. I do the mouth thing. I'm like, I think I'm getting somewhere with like the new flavor notes from the other wine. I think we've got some learning to do, but it's great. It's really good.
Why don't you make a craft check to see if it's improving?
Ooh, 27.
Yeah, it's getting better.
Elk. Yeah.
This is really.
So you finish them. He's like, all right, and he takes the pictures and puts them down below. It was a pleasure meeting you both, and please stay safe.
Mm.
Yeah. Absolutely.
You too.
You do the same. I don't know. I kind of lean in and I just say this quietly. It's like, I don't know what happened to you that landed you with that ring, but I sincerely hope it wasn't as bad as what happened to me.
Oh.
I leave.
He doesn't seem to react to that, but just kind of nods and acknowledges that something horrible happened to Molly.
Mm-hmm.
And, yeah, you guys make it back out to the cart where you see Ruth is sitting back there in her rocking chair, writing in her journal.
I pour Ruth a glass of sherry
No, give her some of the.
in one of the fancy cups. I left all the brain wine. No, that's the good. Oh, sorry, the good. I thought it was sherry. He just had sherry glasses.
It's a sherry glass.
Yeah, so you just pour her the rest of the good wine in one of the nice sherry glasses.
Oh, my goodness, that was one heck of a wait for you to have that meeting.
Well, we learned
Did you get
a
good
lot.
information.
We'll talk about it on the road.
Mm-hmm.
She takes the wine. She's like, oh. And then you watch as she thinks for a second. I haven't had this in 3 or 4 lifetimes.
It's gonna be more like 30 or 40.
Wait, you've had this before?
She's like, no, you're right, 30 to 40. Wow. Lifetimes go by quickly. I have. It was, we went there for our anniversary. My husband and I.
Yeah.
Or was it my wife at that point? I really don't recall. It all runs together.
No problem.
Your significant other.
There's one to share, and I hand her some of the cheese and, bridle up the stallions.
Maybe I don't want to retire. This is a pretty cushy job, really, to be honest.
Right? Until, like, the piles of viscera start attacking you like last time.
You know,
It's
I'm out
fine.
of practice fighting viscera.
It's worth it.
You know, for cheese and wine, I mean, who gets that in vampire country?
Mm-hmm.
The little things. Apparently we do. Yeah, very, very, very kind bartender. But again, we'll talk about it when we're on the road out of town.
Sure. So, are you headed to Venat or Ian Vey? Are you still headed to Ian Vey? Because it sounded like you were skipping over Venat.
Yeah. We should probably go straight to Ian Vey. Just to like kind of play ball a little bit.
Yeah, I kind of thought about stopping in Venat, but if we don't have to, we can just go straight. And yeah, we'll play ball. We can go back if we have to.
Sure. So, you continue on the road to Ian Bay. It's not particularly notable. There don't seem to be many border guards between these mountains. It seems pretty informal for the most part. The most protected area is really the outside wall. You're noticing as you're passing through, because you're going to pass between Sorn and Venat to get to Ian Bay, and you are noticing that Venat is make a perception check, actually.
That's a 6.
Not much better. It's an 8.
You're noticing what appears to be a very large human village. And when I say large, I mean it's just like rows of homes stretching for probably a mile or two, or 3 or 4. Like, it's hard to tell based off of the clouds and the fog and the drizzle.
Should we fall?
But it definitely stands out when you see Venat and Sorn. Sorry, lots of little notes. It seems unremarkable. It just seems to be like another mountain. No, nothing particularly nice or particularly run down, but
Can we make a pit stop
in Venat or Sorn?
at the human village?
Sure. You would be entering a little bit into Venat, but it wouldn't be outside of like it wouldn't be entering into like the immediate vicinity of the home. You
I'm
reach,
just curious.
Yeah.
Yeah, you reach the edge of the village, and you see that there are many guards posted in various watchtowers around this location, and they look down at you. I'm sorry, do you have business here?
Oh, gosh, we're traveling through to Ian Bay, and we just saw a human settlement, and we're making a grand tour of the vampire land, as one does, obviously. And we just found this rather odd, so we were just curious, but we're not here to cause any trouble or anything.
Settlement. This is a farm. We have our livestock in here.
Oh, that clears everything up.
Understood.
Thank you.
We won't get in the way of your business then.
You can choose to look at the people in there or just move on. It's really up to you at this. But the guards in this area don't seem to view humans as anything more than livestock.
Mm.
Okay, I made a 10 perception check.
I guess I will. Oh yeah, no, mine's another 8.
Okay. It's a shanty town is probably the best way to describe it. And there definitely seems to be some individuals that are sick. So for example, with cattle, there's usually a sense of stewardship and giving care to the creatures that live there because it produces healthier. This does not exist here. These humans are here for the purposes of breeding and being consumed. And if they don't survive, they're weak. And their bodies are dragged out, and there are bite marks and missing bones, and you can see that there's just piles of the human bodies on the outside, and you can see that it's being used as a deterrent, as the bones of these bodies, as they're being bleached by not the sun, but by the air and the sand and other things that move around. They're building a wall of bones.
Oh, tasteful.
I'll build a wall. Yeah. Yeah, good people do that a lot. Shoot.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm just gonna... Nothing that I want to do here
about you
can be
as
done.
neither of you are human. It seems like they are very one race minded.
Okay. Yeah, as disturbing as this all is, I don't think there's really anything that we can do in the immediate.
Yeah, maybe we'll be back another time. But yeah, I think for now, Molly is just eyes down, just like not ready to process the horror of the situation.
Sure. So you unassumedly leave. The guards are kind of laughing. Settlement. What do they think they are? They're very flippant, and they're like,
"Oh, you'll get your steaks soon enough, buddy."
You don't say that out loud, though, right?
I might. No, I don't. I'm smarter than that.
Sure. You managed to get away, and you're welcome to talk about that if you wish, as you're out of earshot of those vampires.
We're gonna go back at some point.
Oh, okay.
If just to start a really, really big fun fire.
You're just gonna roast all the people that are in there.
Started in the right spot. Give them a chance to get away. You know what? Yeah. I just don't know if dying in a fire is any worse than dying the way they will. But, yeah, something's gonna happen there. Something's gonna happen there.
Well, if nothing else, that can be something in a future lifetime if you don't happen to get to it. I understand that breaking chains is not particularly easy, but I suppose we have gods for the breaker of bonds, do we not?
Breaking chains is one thing, but picking locks is much, much simpler. And starting fires is even easier than that.
We have options, don't we?
I don't. Yeah, we got options.
Tectoon looks horrified and is actually drawing the settlement and the guards with their callousness. It's a 7. I think it's because he's more upset about the situation than anything else. It's not beautiful, but he's definitely using his frustration to kind of add to the torment of what's going on.
Yeah.
So you continue to pass by Venat, and eventually the mountain covers that human settlement, which is on the outside of the mountain. It appears that potentially this location may have been a village that was overtaken by that had set up close to this mountain. Whether or not it existed, it probably would have existed years before, but it's really difficult to tell based off of this. But the wall is not finished. It is still in progress, that wall of bones.
Mm-hmm.
So you continue to Ian-Vey, and as you reach Ian-Vey, sorry, I have too many notes. You see that this mountain stands out in that it actually has strong borders, and the wall is made of stone and intricately carved, and this is like, there's a wall that kind of surrounds all of Raven Rock in general, but this one is notable and also a little strange because there is no settlement that this would be coming up against. It's coming up against a forest, which has been cleared for several hundred feet until the wall. But it does not seem to have that same type of security on the inside as you enter into Ian-Vey.
Okay.
You are noticing that there seem to be a lot of Colosseum or battle arena sort of locations here, which include humanoid and vampire, and there's a listing where there are just several fights, and people can sign up as they wish for these fights. It appears that in this location, there is a great deal of societal standing in achieving that sort of ruthless advancement.
Molly, pardon me. Molly looks at. I forgot your real name. All I can think of is Barbara. Barbara. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. It was killing me. Okay, Felicity. I look at Felicity, and I kind of like do the eye thing to like one of the boards.
You want to beat up? You want to beat up some humans?
I'm just thinking it might be a fun way in. I don't know if we need to beat up humans. I think it might be more fun to beat up vampires.
I mean, I'm game. But maybe we should have our chats first.
Okay, yeah. I mean, if we can have a chat first, I thought it would be a fun way to like bring some power into that situation.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think that can we even enter the vampire one?
You can certainly ask.
It sounded like they were like segregated.
You're not sure, but there don't seem to be any fights going on in your immediate vicinity, but there are people who are walking around or seem to be manning kind of that sign-up list that you're welcome to have a conversation with. From this distance, you can't tell if they're vampiric or not.
Okay. We can, I mean, if you're comfortable approaching. Hark, stranger. I don't know what you say to a person.
You don't know what you say to a person?
Yeah. Excuse me. Excuse me. I'm a big, brave, strong man looking for a big, brave, strong fight.
Are you saying that you're a strong man as Molly?
No. Molly is just going to grab attention. Just be like, excuse me. We have some questions about the entrance requirements. Are you someone we can ask?
You see that this is a half-elf who is missing an eye, half their arm, and one leg. He's currently sitting there. Well, you look like you've seen some fights yourself.
I have. I just might be looking for one more.
Well, You seem to be a lightweight, if you don't mind my saying. Do you realize this is a fight to the death?
Most of my fights have been fights to the death.
Certainly, and I'm assuming this is you, or is this for your muscly friend over here, referring to you, Felicity?
Muscly friend.
This big bag of beef is fine.
Why, yes, I am quite muscly.
This other big, strong man. We actually have a party that might be interested. I don't know if you prefer single, duels, group combat.
It's probably not.
Wait, can I have checked in with Ruth and Tectoon ahead of time? Just been like, are you at all into this, or should we just be two in? Should we leave you out?
Tectoon looks at you. I don't think this is a great idea. However, I think it would be very difficult for you to not have a healer in these fights.
Respect.
Now, I think it could give you an in, however, it will draw attention to you. If that is what you want, it could be good. So, just know I can be in, but I really, really want you to think about exactly if this is what you want to do. And Ruth is like, I can try. I haven't fought vampires in a long time, and I don't know how much range I'm gonna have.
We sold ourselves as mild-mannered travelers like 2 minutes ago. And the government now knows that we're going to Ian Bay.
You make a very, very, very excellent point.
I'm just saying, yes, I want to fight, but
okay, yeah.
I think that we need to sort of stick to the profile that we've designed for ourselves here.
All right. All right. With that being said, with that check-in in place, maybe we just ask some questions from this guy and dip.
Yeah, or maybe can we watch a fight? Like, are these like, is this a spectator sport or?
Oh, if you're looking to bet, certainly. Are you betting on the undead or living division?
Which is more interesting, would you say?
Certainly, it depends on the style of fight.
Are there like betting boards with like?
Oh yeah.
Whatever they're called, ratios.
The odds.
Yeah, odds. Thank you.
Yep, there are several with odds. And I mean, by several, I mean like 40 on human and
what's like the next
vampire
fight?
division.
Sorry.
No,
Say that again.
I said, what's like the next fight?
The next fight is probably in 2 hours, and it is it doesn't have any information. It's the living division, and it has Mortaresh and Torlo.
Oh, I like the Torlo.
Do we recognize any of the names on the vampire board?
Unlikely. I would say probably not. They're not going to be anyone that
Of like high ranking.
Correct. It would be other people looking to gain power in this particular. But you do notice that there are in fact some that there are in fact some viscounts, barons, and baronets. So from what you gathered, those are the members that fall under the purview of a count or a duke. So think of them as like a subset of that territory. So it's probably like a territory expansion, or if you guys were, say, to fight a vampire, you might gain territory in this location.
No. I want to like lean into the half elf and like, so if we were of the betting mind and attended an event, would there be a chance of us rubbing shoulders with some of the elite class? Like, are these well attended?
They're well attended, but you're not going to get those seats unless you are very well prepared to pay, either in favors or in blood.
Oh, you guys don't take cash here?
We have no need for cash. Now, the to tell you, the betting is for the humanoids living population. This is not something the vampires take in. They bet on their own in, we'll say, higher stakes.
What could we do right now to ensure a seat next to vampire nobility? Hypothetically.
I mean, you just said blood or favors.
Well, but yeah, I want some specific, like fight blood or like give you a bucket of blood.
Either or, really. You can give me. Oh, he looks at your party. Oh, a pint of blood each, and I'll get you a decent seat. Or you put on a good fight, and you make me some money. You're gonna be unknown. You're gonna be underdogs. Look like you're losing and then win. It's enough for me.
I really don't think we should fight.
No, I agree. I agree. I'm gonna check in with Ruth. Ruth, I'm willing to give a pint of my blood, but if you're not, I understand, and we will find another way.
Are you talking to me or to Ruth?
Talking to Ruth.
Okay.
I'm assuming you'll give up your blood pretty easy.
I mean, I feel like also this is the first angle that we've been presented with. We haven't actually made it into town yet.
That's true.
We could make friends. We're so good at making friends right now.
Yeah.
Ruth says, I came in here understanding that my blood may be used. I do have value. If this is what you're looking to do, I think it could give us an edge.
Okay.
I worry about Tectoon having a pint of blood, though.
Yeah, he's got about a pint.
And I think Tectoon and I have been talking. We have similar views, but you may want to scale how much Tectoon gives.
Yeah, no,
if they even want Tectoon, I don't know quite.
There's a lot that's gonna go into this conversation if we have it for real. I'm gonna turn to the guy getting that and just say, you know what? We'll consider it. We're gonna head into town first, see how things are going.
All right. Just so you know, the best nobility you're gonna find has a fight tomorrow, so you should make your decision quickly.
Mm.
All right.
You can sense motive on him to see if he's telling the truth.
Don't make me do that. Does that influence your perception? No, I appreciate it. If it's perception, it's just an 11.
I rolled an 18.
It's a little hard to tell. Molly, you believe that he is telling the truth. That this is in fact, like, there is a big fight coming up. Felicity, you're not so sure. This guy has, to put in our terms, he used car salesman vibes.
He's trying to sell us.
Yeah, I mean, like, there's some sort, like, your blood will be valuable. And he might be swindling you a little bit. I mean, a pint of blood from really rare races, like, that has some serious sway. And
that wasn't
you're
like,
not quite sure exactly if the fight that you would be attending would really be worth that. And it was also his first offer, which you had the ability to counter.
No, obviously. And none of the conversation I just had was me saying, oh, we need a pint of blood right now. Like, we didn't even broach the handling portion of that. Like, that wasn't me saying we should take this offer. That was just me checking in with everybody about taking their blood, because obviously that's a big deal. Consent is important, and I am not going to take the Gripply's blood.
Tectoon has a feeling he's Molly's learning.
Oh,
Neptune
Doesn't
feels
hear
like
anything.
respect from another room. It's just like,
okay.
yeah, we'll be
Noted.
in touch. Yeah.
All right, so are you continuing on towards the, I guess, main building at B&B, which you haven't seen yet. You're not quite sure what it's going to look like.
So this is on the outskirts, excuse me, of town.
Correct. So ENV has an inner part and then the outer wall. You've seen the outer wall, which is in the distance, but you haven't seen if it's a palace, if it's a fortress, if it's even a hut. You're not quite sure where you're going. You're just following the main road.
Okay. And remind me for the 15 millionth time what the name is on that protection thing that we have.
Count Andrastante Morkarath.
Oh, so it is from. Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's for ENV.
I wasn't sure if it was from him or somebody else.
If I made that unclear, it is in fact for this person. So if it changes things in the past, that is what it is now.
No. It's that's
No, I just
right.
can't keep track of if I said the right thing.
Okay.
But it is for this person at ENV. Like that is what that sigil that you received from Kosovo is for.
Great.
Okay, so that we probably have an in with this guy already.
Maybe.
Well, we can try.
Potentially.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Let's can we find a place to sort of set up shop where we can like keep the wagon and like if there's an inn or
Sure. So you're looking to rest.
I think, yeah.
Yeah, and just to kind of like have a base.
Sure. It is about 4 a.m. So you can tell things, at least on the vampiric side, are probably going to be shutting down to some degree. But you do notice an inn. It's very small. Probably due to the proximity of the human farm next door. People don't probably want to stay nearby. But it does say the Overwatch Inn.
Let's go get us a room. Or 4.
All right. So before you even reach the door, there's a person at really a window of sorts that sees you pull up. Morning. You see that they are in fact a goblin.
I'm going to speak back to them in Undercommon. Morning. Actually, I speak
You speak
Goblin
Goblin.
directly. Yeah, I'll speak to them Goblin.
This and in goblin. Cultured, I see.
Uncultured, and delightfully so. Although a Goblin,
Well,
I'm sure,
you
don't
are
have
certainly
words.
more familiar than cursory. How can I help you?
We're looking for a quiet, out-of-the-way room. Is that something we're going to find here, or should we keep looking?
You're looking for a quiet, out-of-the-way room in Vampire Country. I can
I
guarantee
understand
you a
what I'm
room
asking
with good
for.
locks. I can guarantee a room with good locks and some great lighting on the inside.
I would.
And he looks at you. Have you been to Venat?
We have, right?
We passed
We
through.
passed
That's
through.
where the
That's the human farm.
farm was.
Yeah. Yeah, we unfortunately passed through.
I won't sell you.
I'm very
Oh,
grateful.
Thanks.
Yeah, I want to make it clear that if you tried, you would have had a very hard time.
Oh,
And that's me. That's not a threat. That's just an assurance.
I can assure you, if I wanted to, I fought worse, and I mean that respectfully. And then they smile, and there's a lot of teeth.
I smile with just as many teeth. I can't do that, but I try.
With your fang, your one fang.
Yeah. Well, my screwed up teeth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, I'm sure you know, goblins, what we want. Clacky, clacky, shiny, shiny.
Yeah. I think I've got
I'll
something.
just say, the more you pay, the better the room. You decide those rates, and I'll decide you a room.
No, how about you start? Make him start. Don't.
How about you tell us what you expect to be paid, and we'll haggle from there.
I expect you to pay enough that you get those damn good locks. This is all in Goblin.
All in Goblin. Okay.
Felicity's just like picking at her claws, waiting.
Can I roll
I can't understand any of this.
an influence check of some kind? Or would that be like maybe a society check to understand like how much this should cost me?
You could do a craft check to function as like an appraise to see what a room might cost.
As an 8.
It depends on what you're looking for. Are you looking for like 2 rooms?
I want 2 rooms and I want 2 safe rooms.
Most of these like you've never been in Vampire Society, you're not quite sure what a room's going to cost here. But in Human Society, if you want a really nice room, you're going to pay a silver piece.
Okay. I'm gonna hand him 4 gold.
Or 3 silver pieces. Oh, you're going to pay him 4 gold?
I'm gonna hand him 4 gold. Say, I want 2 rooms, 2 nights. And we'll
2
talk
rooms,
more after this.
Boarding for the animal.
I'm gonna hand him a 5th gold piece. And like, see that they're well cared for.
I think we have an excellent understanding here. He is going to show that there are a set of keys on the wall. 2 sets. He hands 1 to each of you, takes the other ones, and puts them in a can, and he points at locks. Pick a lock here that you like.
What's he saying?
Can I make it? What kind of, is it another craft check to figure out which is the best?
Sure.
Or do they all look the same?
Do you pick locks?
I can pick locks, yeah.
Use your disable device.
Okay. 16.
There's some locks that are definitely shinier, which you think are polished to make them look like they're better, but you can tell that there's a higher quality lock somewhere in the middle, and it has a key that looks a little more complex than a skeleton key.
I'm gonna take that lock, and then is there another one that looks kind of like it, or?
So what happens is he takes that lock, takes that can, and locks it and gives you the key. Says, spare room keys are stored in here. Can't get them out until you give me this key back. And he gives it to you. Don't lose it. So basically, this is an assurance that he doesn't even have the master to get in there.
Okay. I'm grateful we're speaking the same language. I say to him, and I just want to see if I have anything. Do I have any more of that really good cheese?
You'd have to ask Ruth. You gave it to Ruth.
Ruth, did we save any of that cheese?
Nope, there is nothing. I licked my fingers. I licked that paper.
Respect. I'm just trying to think of things I have that I could just share with him.
You know that goblins like things that are shiny. If you have anything shiny that'll get their attention, they'll probably be happy.
Yeah, I don't think I do is the thing. I think I've pretty much purged all of that. What do we have? Inventory. Inventory.
I don't really have anything that I'm not using.
Yeah, I'm kind of same boat.
You can also tell that you probably don't need to give more.
I'll tip him on the way out. Yeah, we'll figure it out. I'm just trying to think of like something nice.
Yeah. So he smiles again with the toothy grin and in common says, "Please enjoy your stay."
Thank you. That was easy.
Sweet.
Right?
Yeah. Super easy. Yeah. That was very.
Cool. Oh, and do you want to pick a lock for your animals' safety? I'll give you a spare.
Okay, I rolled a 26 check on that lockpick.
Oh yeah, you see not a brand, but a signature on one of the locks that's down further below. It's rusted, so it's probably not picked very often, but it's still it would take a lot of rusting for it to lose a lot of its power.
Okay,
it's a nice lock. It's probably better than the one. It's significantly better than the one you put on the can.
Yeah, I'm gonna point to that one for the animals.
And he smiles and says, "Interesting pick. You must know your locks."
Clearly I didn't know them that well, pointing to the lock that I put on the can.
You learn. He takes a spare key and he's like, I need this to feed it. Puts it on a key ring he has around his belt and tucks it into his waistband. So it is definitely up against their genitals. Probably is a deterrent for anyone to touch it, and gives you the other key and the lock and says, go pick a stall.
All right. Let's go put our animals in the stall.
All right. Put him in a stall. Technu's like, I am not putting Ivana in here.
But I picked a good lock. I picked a really good lock.
Ivana's an inside bird.
Yeah, no, it's okay. Ivana's an inside bird. We'll get a piece of paper for her to shit on.
There's also a further back in this stall, there's enough room for your cart as well.
Sweet.
Or your wagon, I guess is what it is.
Yeah, we'll put it there.
Is there anything that you want to take out of the wagon?
I think I would like to take our vampire hunting stuff out.
Okay.
Yeah.
I believe that's in your bag of holding.
But we
I
like
think it's
stashed
in Molly's,
it
isn't it?
in the. Oh,
is it?
That's right, because they had to like.
Oh yeah, and I hit it.
You had to
Okay,
push the check.
so I'm gonna snag.
You know
yeah,
what?
I'm
I'm
gonna
just probably going to assume, because I know that there's some hiding spots, that you're probably going to take everything of value out of here, just in case.
Yeah.
Okay.
And just like anything that could like get us in trouble. You know,
Like
I mean, I don't
maybe?
think
Well, yeah, we'll bring Han in. We'll bring
Yeah.
Han in.
All right. Do
On
you
the
think you're
watch
taking brain
panels.
wine?
No, but they can. Yeah, if somebody takes the brain wine, that's fine.
Okay, so you leave the brain wine, you grab everything else that's important. You have to go back to the front to take all your stuff in, and the goblin says one moment, and you hear as it walks away from the window, and you hear about 4 locks. Click, 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 click. And it opens the door. Very short, looks not as far up at Molly as it does to Felicity and Ruth, and says, right this way, and points down and shows you he has to unlock another door, and he says you can lock it from the inside, just showing that he's not trapping you in here. And points at the 2 rooms at the end of the hall. You can go in there. Walls of stone. You have bars on the door, and the windows are sealed.
I
If you
am.
decide to open a window, that is your choice, and I am not responsible for what you choose to do.
Thanks. Grateful for an establishment that caters to people in our particular position.
There's certainly a value to not being tasty.
Mm.
He does kind of a dramatic bow, which is obviously kind of making fun of the fact that Vampire Society is all about these bows, and says, "What?" And then kind of cricks his neck back up, and it pops. I have to go back to the window, but if there's anything you need, bring some shiny shinies, and we'll talk about it.
Thank you, Your Dark Eminence. Like I say, making fun of vampire culture as well.
And then goblins, and then replies to in Goblin, those fuckers.
That's okay.
Don't know what they're talking about.
Yeah. We're gonna...
Wait till they get to the Underdark and we'll see.
Nobody crawls out of there. I don't even crawl. I don't even go down there.
You're smart. And then locks the door and goes back out.
Well, seems like a good guy.
I mean, I couldn't understand a word he was saying, so I'll trust you on that one.
Yeah, goblin. But, you know, it's a fun tongue. There's a lot of words that just don't translate well.
There was a lot
Like,
of grunting and spit.
yeah, like depth of mud. They have like a really, really intense vocabulary regarding, but like love, like they don't have a word that comes close. Yeah, they have like 8 different words for knife, but like no word for cheese knife. Super weird.
So you make it to the rooms, and you see that they're, in fact, adjoining, if you wish for them to be. But it's like those adjoining rooms, you have to unlock it on both sides. And each door is very well sealed from the side. It appears that they don't want moisture, air, anything getting in or out of this room. You can make a religion check if you would like.
Woo!
Mm.
I should be good at this stuff, but I'm not. There's a 4.
I got a 7.
They're probably worried about the moisture leaking in and causing this place to rot.
Probably.
Goblins
very
notoriously hate rot.
Yeah. I know that about them.
Alright, so you're in the room. Tectoon does detect magic and says, I don't notice anything in here that we should be worried about.
Thank you, Tectoon. You're so grateful. We're so grateful for you and your help.
I'm
Keeping us
assuming
safe.
boys in one room, girls in another. Oh, wait.
Heck
And then-
yeah.
So, boy in one room and then all the girls in another. No. Tectoon, we're
well, he has
passing.
Han in his hand.
Oh, it's true.
It's
I
up
mean,
to you,
Han
though.
just needs a hook, though, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
Han, Tectoon, and I will be like the 3 smalls in a room, and then the 2 bigs can share.
3 smalls.
Yeah.
And 2 bigs. I love that.
3 smalls and 2 bigs.
Do we need to talk about anything? Because there was a lot of shit that that happened, and maybe we should update Ruth.
Yeah, I kind of thought that we did. I didn't express it out loud, but talk Ruth through
Okay,
like
sure.
all of
We can
our
say that you had that
experiences.
updating conversation.
Yeah,
And then Han was involved in that and listening in.
absolutely.
Should we figure out a plan?
Yeah,
I mean, are
probably.
And this is Han. I know that of all of us, I have the least to lose, probably seconded by Ruth here, but this is probably not a great place to be in general. And it sounds like you had a conversation with someone that knew a little bit more than they should have. Is that correct? Am I misunderstanding that in any way?
I think that pretty much sums it up.
Yeah.
And your ring, do you know to what limit that works?
I don't know what it does. I don't know how it does it. All I know is that I can be tracked. Truth be told, though, even if my tracker could see everything that I've done and am doing, I don't feel unsafe about anything I've chosen to do or anyone I've chosen to meet so far.
Well, that's reassuring. Something to keep in mind, I guess, going forward.
Absolutely. I'm not trying to double play anybody here. I guess I want to make that clear to the party right now. I want to get through this. I don't want to get out of this terrifying place, and I want to get this ring off of my finger. And then eventually, when I have the support, I'm going to come back and I'm going to burn that farm to the ground.
No one seems upset by that statement.
Mm-hmm.
Han is like, are we getting the people out?
We're going to do our best.
He doesn't seem worried either way. He's like, I just need to know. Not that I can do anything, but if I'm getting a blowgun and shooting something.
No, we're not gonna show up and burn it down and just to kill everyone. That's not the goal. I mean, it's sometimes the goal. I get it. I know you're talking to me, so you have to ask these questions.
Mhm.
But
Clarifying questions. Yeah.
I'm the moral compass of this group.
You really are.
That's
And
really
maybe D might
unfortunate.
be now. Who knows?
Yeah.
D should be. D needs to
D
take
is.
that mantle because I do not deserve it.
I love when I said you were the moral compass of the group, you hated it and agreed.
That's a problem.
Also, you're getting really cut off on the camera. Oh, there you are. You're so pretty. So, are there any conversations you want to have with the group or plans you want to make?
I think, I mean, I feel like our next step is kind of a big one. So, sort of out of game, I would like Meredith to be involved.
Sure.
In our planning for this section, just because I feel like this is our next like little underboss kind of a thing.
Sure. Yeah, and if you want to, we can end it here and wait until next time.
I don't have anything that unless we want to try and do some reconnaissance around town, but I feel like we've, as like characters, been up for a very long time.
Yeah. I actually do have one last thing I want to do. I just realized.
Yeah.
So before we go to bed, because I do think we should take a night, I want to go back to that goblin if I can.
Sure. You managed to find the releases on the locks.
Get
on
out of
those
our
doors.
room.
So he did not, in fact, seal you in. He was very honest about that.
Good.
Yeah, grateful
Whether
for
that's
that.
surprising or not, it depends on how much you know about goblin culture.
Yeah.
And you see the goblin is sitting, is actually, it looked like there was a stool, but it's actually kind of a swing with like a pad on it that looks like a stool. So he's actually hanging from the ceiling on this swooping stool.
Aw.
I
reading
walk
a
up.
book.
Yeah. Let's see. What do I have?
Reading a book. The goblins read.
And then as each page, as they go through it, they're eating it. So they're
Oh.
eating.
There's the chaos.
How's the snack? What did I say in Goblin?
They say food for thought, but I'm not really liking these flavors.
Yeah, the I don't know, something about.
I don't understand the saying. I thought these were snacks, like they said leaves, and I thought it was like coca leaves or tobacco or something.
No, it's all pulp anyway. Those paperbacks.
Yeah.
I'm looking for something, and you're the first person I feel comfortable asking for it.
Well, if I'm the person you're comfortable asking, it must be something unsavory.
Depends on who the person looking at it is. I want to make it clear that I have the resources to pay for this, to compensate you very well for it. But I'm looking
You have my attention.
I'm looking for a heart-seeking steak.
You seem. Well, you sound like you have some plans.
I've got a few that that might change depending on whether I'm able to come across something like this or multiple somethings like this.
You watch as they shut the front window, and they put up a sign on it that says "Knock if you need anything." Now, I hope you understand that when we're having this conversation, we did not have this conversation.
You know very well the position of asking for something like this, like what that puts me in compared to you being asked for something like this. So I understand. So we're in understanding there.
As they take a pearl and smash it on the ground, and there's a shimmer around you, and it's silence. And he passes you a pad of paper and says, and written on it is like, "Silence is the best option in this conversation. I will eat these notes when we're done."
I write in words, delicious, followed by, how many?
And then he says, "How many do you want?"
I need to know how much this is gonna cost.
Oh, so you're asking the cost?
Well, so like, as many as I can afford, cost, question mark.
So he kind of explains what heart-seeking means in case you don't.
Grateful
So what
for
a
that.
heart-seeking weapon is, it becomes a +1 bonus. Says it can be placed on melee weapons, drawn unerringly towards beating hearts. A heart-seeker weapon ignores the mischance for concealment against most living targets, so the attack must still attack the proper square. Does not apply against aberrations, oozes, plants, outsiders, or any creature specifically noted to lack a heart. For the purposes of this, I will say that you are getting a variant that can target unbeating hearts.
Okay. So
But
it's
a little more expensive.
It's really just a +1.
And other bonuses.
Okay, yeah, we can talk about those later if you want to homebrew something there.
Yeah. So you see him write a number, and you can try and haggle with him.
Mhm.
That's 2,500
For
times
one?
For one.
I don't have enough on me. Let's see.
I will put it to you that Felicity is not planning on paying for her ship.
I figured we need to buy a ship to get your ship, is the thing. Or we can even just use the money to pimp out your ship.
Mm-hmm. Because I know you're squirreling away money for that.
Okay, yeah, but I don't think I have that money. I think we. Well, no, because we had it in the cart. Sorry. We had it in the cart. We talked about putting it in the bank, and we didn't.
Who can trust banks?
You
Am I
can't
right?
trust a bank.
I trust pirates.
Okay, so let's see, haggling.
Sorry, I'm not there.
No, it's okay. I pull out.
Are you taking a bath, Felicity?
Oh, I'm gross. I'm filthy.
I take out. Oh, sorry. Go.
I will say it is steamy, and there's no way to vent it unless you open the window.
Oh,
Which
no.
I don't know if you heard anything about. Don't open the window if Molly told you or not.
Oh, I don't know, because it was all in Goblin.
Yeah. Well, no, he talked about the stuff in common in the rooms, right? He was talking to all of us.
Oh,
did he?
Maybe he did. Okay.
He mentioned he switched. I know he switched to common at one point.
You know, just to make it easy, we'll say that he did have that conversation in common. So you do know you can choose to open it anyways, because it will get soggy. It's not horrible.
You could just take the bath in our room, and Tectoon would love it if it's humid.
That's true. Yeah, I'll bathe in their room
and steam it up for Tectoon.
Make Tectoon all sticky.
And soften the skin of Han.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Hydrating.
Moisturize.
Alright, so you're bathing, and it's lovely. There's no sense, unfortunately, but it's decently warm water.
Okay.
So
what I'm going to do is I'm going to take out what is essentially 800 gold in mixed gold and platinum. That's about all I have. I have a little bit more than that, but I need to keep some of it, obviously, for costs and things. I'm also going to take off my black pearl necklace, which I know to be worth 600 gold, but when you were describing it to me, made it seem like it was worth much, much more and potentially magical.
Oh, this is the one that you stole from the art museum, right?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
And is there anything else I can give? Here. Should I keep the fish hooks? Okay, so I hand him. I put the necklace and all that platinum and gold on the table, and I write, "This for as many as you can give me." Below it, "For every stake you give me, one more vampire will pay."
I need you to make an influence check for me.
Can I get advantage because I'm speaking his language and we've got a rapport?
I'll say that you're getting a bonus, but not advantage.
Okay.
And I will take that into account on my end.
No, I gotta do it on. I gotta do this on the.
What do you mean?
The dice that I've been. I gotta do this on the classic big purple one that I've been rolling for almost everything else. Okay, that's a 23.
Okay. You watch as he picks up the necklace and is looking at it. You watch, there's a bunch of the reflections of these pearls in their eyes, and you watch as he's licking the pearls on this and tapping at it. And he's kind of shaking it, just basically to see what it's like.
Mm-hmm.
And they smile at you broadly. Good shinies. And pockets them and takes all the gold and puts it in there. And you see them lock the window and they give you the follow me finger. And you're noticing the silence is following them because they broke it with their foot. So he opens up a basement hatch and kind of points for you to go down.
Okay. I'm going to go down. I'm also going to be just ready, aware of the harm and ready with an explosive. Not openly.
Yeah.
Just actually, no. Show of good faith. I'm going to go in casual, comfortable.
The goblin goes down and kind of points at you to stay. And as he walks away, you can tell that the noises are coming, so the silence is following him. You don't hear any rustling or anything, and it's probably 3 minutes, 4 minutes pass. Nothing's happening. You're still waiting. Is that correct?
Yeah, no, I'm waiting.
Okay. And eventually, he walks out, and he has a wrapped bag, and passes them to you, and then kind of like escorts you up. So think of it, it's not a wrapped bag, but it's like a leather wrapped package.
Yeah.
And he escorts you back up the stairs, and you watch as he licks his thumb and takes the thing off of his shoe, and the sound resumes as after he shut the door and reopens it and says, "If you need any more snacks, let me know."
I appreciate it. And too, the toiletries you have here are truly phenomenal.
I'm sorry, toiletries doesn't translate.
So I say that the word toiletries in common. There's like a stutter. Or just like toiletries, and then back to like the grunty.
Yeah. Turns back and is eating the pages that you were writing on. And you make it back through, and you make it to the room. Felicity is...
Okay.
I don't know how long your bath is going to be. You could be...
God, why is this room so fucking wet?
Well, you know what? You know how long we've been traveling? It's gross. And you smell horrible. You're next.
Well, yeah, I would love to take a bath if my bathtub weren't fucking full of a cat. A nasty, wet cat. Nasty.
Tectune doesn't seem to have a problem. Go take a bath in our room.
I go take a cold bath to not steam up your room, but I take a really long bath, so it's really annoying.
Oh, that's fine. I'm still in mine. Okay. I'm going to be in here.
I try to outbathe you, but I can't do it.
You just get all pruny.
I just get all pruny, and like my gears get off. This.
Ruth takes a stool and goes behind you, Molly, in the bath, and is like combing out your hair.
Aww.
Yeah. In just like this grandmotherly way.
So how many steaks
you were
do you
gone
get?
for a while.
I don't know.
Are you gonna
may
look?
I ask what you were doing?
Me?
Combing out your hair. Yes.
Oh, she's behind me in the bath.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you wouldn't mind grabbing that leather wrapped package over there, I know I have to stop combing my hair, but
She leaves the comb in your hair, just keeps it in place and walks up.
my hair does not comb well.
Brings it over and is like, do I unwrap it?
You're welcome to unwrap it. If it's an explosive, I'm really sorry. I didn't put it there.
Not reassuring, but whatever. And then she just continues to open it.
Mm-hmm.
And you see 5 steaks.
What you see there, Ruth, are 5 art-seeking steaks.
And I will say, for your purposes, vampiric heart-seeking steaks.
Vampiric heart-seeking steaks. And you want to know what those are going to do, Ruth?
I'm assuming piercing a vampiric heart. If
I
am doing forensic linguistics.
We're going to kill some fucking vampires.
Alright. Good on you. You watch as she takes like a sewing needle off of her belt and just kind of sews it closed, making sure nothing spills out. Tucks it back into her belt and kind of tucks it under the bed.
Yeah, I'm actually going to ask if she can put it in my things, because just in case, I know you're not the type to be like, oh, you forgot it under the bed, but just in case.
Sure. She puts it in your things.
Yeah.
And then goes back to combing her hair.
You left 12,500 gold pieces worth of heart-seeking steaks under the bed. I'm sorry.
You didn't get our insurance policy, so
yeah,
we're not liable.
Yeah. I can't believe that worked. I thought I was going to get 1 steak.
That necklace, you stole it from an art museum.
Yeah. It's a good necklace.
It was.
But also
black pearls.
Goblins love black pearls. I don't know that about goblins. Maybe it was worth a lot more than I thought it was, but either way, this is worth more to me now.
So
hell yeah.
She finishes combing your hair, sends you back in. Molly, at some point, would you say you use the chamber pot during the night?
Let's roll for it. 50-50.
What are you rolling?
D20. Odd or even?
That's up to you.
You gotta call it.
Even.
Even you use the chamber.
Even I use it? Okay. Natural 1.
All right, you're constipated. You cannot use the changer pot.
That fucking cheese!
Stopped you right up.
Oh.
I could have just chosen. Not to.
And, oh, D is with you guys, so D is sleeping in the boys' room.
Oh, wait, there's a boys?
Is D considered a large or a small? Because we're doing large and small.
medium.
Big or a little?
A medium?
He's a medium.
No, but we're doing big and little for rooms.
Oh, so I guess big. It would
3
be a
bigs
big.
and 3 littles, so we need to actually change how we set this up.
Also, does Han count as...
Let's do Molly. Sorry, let's do the boys and Han, and then all the girls.
Ruth, me, and you.
Yeah, we'll get the dry room. We change it up because we forgot that fucking Deez was sleeping this whole time.
Oh yeah, D is out in the wagon and you left D there, and then you realize, oh,
Deez is epileptic. Yeah. D, you've got like a medical problem.
Oh.
Like, we can get you help.
D is asleep while you carry them somehow to the room.
Up the stairs.
Yeah. Aw. I kiss them on the forehead. I say goodnight. Sweet.
Our sweet
Deez.
prince.
Our sweet prince. You're
All
gonna
right.
kill so many vampires with us. Mhm.
All right. So with that, I guess we'll end it for this time.
Heck
And,
yeah.
we may have some changes, but we're going to plan on the 28th of May. That'll be the last Sunday. And we will see you all then. Thank you for joining us.
Yeah.
All right.